Okay, so today we're going deep on something a lot of you probably think you know already. Psalm 1.
Right.
But we're not just going to skim the surface here.
Yeah?
We're going to unearth the real wisdom buried in this ancient text.
I like it.
Especially this idea of there being two paths in life.
Okay.
Kind of like Robert Frost's The Road, not taken, but way before his time.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean.
So what can this ancient text tell us about making choices today and navigating our own lives?
Yeah. That's such a great question. And what's so fascinating to me is how Psalm 1, it was written centuries ago.
Yeah.
But it still totally resonates with our modern understanding of psychology and decision making.
Really?
Yeah, it lays out this fundamental choice that we all face.
Uh-huh.
This path that leads to flourishing.
Yeah.
Or a path that leads to, well, not so much flourishing.
Okay, so right away, Psalm 1 just throws us this really stark contrast.
Yeah.
The blessed versus the wicked. Those who follow wisdom and those who kind of wander off the trail a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's pretty dramatic, huh?
It is dramatic for sure, but I wouldn't say it's a simplistic good versus evil kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
It's more about the consequences of the choices that we make.
I see.
Whether we align ourselves with wisdom or with with folly, let's call it that.
Okay.
And, this isn't just some abstract concept, and you can see it in neuroscience today.
Oh, wow.
How focusing on the negative can actually rewire our brains toward more stress and anxiety.
So it's not just some old proverb.
No.
It's like a guide to well-being.
Exactly. Yeah, early guide to mental well-being.
Wow, and then there's that image of the tree planted by the water.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Exactly. That's a powerful image. The tree represents those who are grounded in wisdom.
Okay.
Think about it roots that run deep,
Yeah.
drawing nourishment, weathering storms. Oh, I see.
It's about resilience, stability, and bearing fruit.
Right.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Right, of course. And the wicked are chaff in the wind.
Yes.
Exactly.
Here today, gone tomorrow. Precisely. And it's not just poetic imagery.
Oh, really?
There are studies on resilience that show that people who are grounded in their values, who have a strong sense of purpose, they tend to navigate challenges much more effectively.
Wow.
They're like that deeply rooted tree.
Like that tree by the water.
Exactly.
So it's about more than just believing in something.
Right.
Psalm 1 seems to really stress the importance of action.
Yes.
Of really integrating wisdom into your daily life.
Absolutely.
It even talks about meditating on commands day and night.
Right. And that's where we see these really interesting parallels with modern concepts like mindfulness.
Oh, wow.
And deliberate practice. It's not about passive belief.
Okay.
It's about consciously choosing what we're going to focus on.
What actions we're going to take day after day.
Yeah.
You don't just wish to be a great musician.
Right.
You practice scales.
Yeah.
You study, you refine your craft.
Makes sense. But what about this whole judgment thing? That's where some people might get hung up, right?
Yeah.
Is it saying that some divine force is going to come down and punish us for our bad choices?
I think it's a lot more nuanced than that.
Okay.
I think it's less about divine punishment.
Okay.
And more about natural consequences.
I see.
It's if you consistently make healthy choices,
Uh-huh.
you're likely to enjoy good health.
Right.
If you make unhealthy choices, well, there'll probably be consequences to that too.
Right.
It's not about somebody up there judging us.
Okay.
It's about the natural order of things playing out, cause and effect.
So it's almost like a universal law,
Yeah.
Not unlike gravity. You jump off a cliff, you're probably going to fall.
Right.
You plant seeds of kindness, you're likely to get some kindness back.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And you see this throughout history and literature and philosophy.
Yeah.
It's this recurring theme that the choices that we make shape the course of our lives and the lives of those around us.
Wow. So listener, I got to ask you, where do you see these two paths playing out in your own life?
Oh, that's good.
What choices are you making? Are you nurturing that tree inside?
Right.
Or are you letting yourself get blown around like chaff?
It's a powerful question to consider.
It is.
What seeds are you planting today?
Yeah.
What kind of harvest do you hope to reap in the future?
Right.
What values, what actions are you going to prioritize to create a life that's truly fulfilling?
That's a pretty profound thought to leave us with.
Yeah. It is.
It's a reminder that even this ancient text, Psalm 1,
right,
still has so much to teach us about making wise choices and crafting a life that's meaningful and resilient.
It really does.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Psalm 1.
Of course, it was a pleasure.